Okay, today we're going to be going over and doing a little bit of play testing for a game called Mythology. As soon as I find the page. Hold on just a second. There it is, Mythology. Mythology is in the Ultimate Micro RPG book. And we're going to see how easy it is to adapt this particular game to solo play. It's a game that just uses nothing but regular tarot cards. And since I am a tarot card reader professionally and have been for many years, this is my deck and I read every single morning. We're going to go ahead and play this game, or try to play this game at least. If we like it, we'll continue to play for a few more rounds, and if not, it will be wreckage of the past, I suppose. It says here, Mythology is a storytelling game for between 1 and 7 players, but I'm guessing there's supposed to be a game master too. However, again, can be adapted easily for solo. Surely everything can. Each taking the part of one character in a myth woven together collaboratively. Although it uses a deck of tarot cards, you don't need to read them to play. Though you will need to respond to the images as pieces of representative art. Okay, the setup here is decide what story your myth will tell. What I wanted to tell was the coming into the world of the first vampire. But maybe it should be something more general, like when death came into the world. There we go. Let's write that down as our myth. We'll journal that. When death came into the world. Okay, so our myth, our founding myth, is when death came into the world. Character creation. Characters in mythology are larger-than-life archetypes. The major arcana, the first 22 cards in the tarot deck, represents these archetypes. To create your character, choose 2 major arcana cards to represent your part and lay the cards out in front of you. Each card can be chosen only once. Then consult the list and choose a positive tag. Here are positive tags and a negative tag for each card. So you draw 2 of the cards. Find a positive tag for the first one and a negative tag for the second. Finally, give your hero a title that describes their place in the world you will create, like Kingdom's Best Baker or God of Oak Trees specifically. This is where you start. Okay, well, let's go ahead then. No time like the present. Here are our cards. Let's shuffle them a bit to make it kind of random. And then we go ahead and we pick 2. The first one being the Hermit. The second one being the Hierophant. And I don't suppose reversals mean anything in this game as they do when I'm actually reading cards for clients. So we've got the Hermit and the Hierophant. So the Hermit is observant and the Hierophant is elitist. So for our character creation, and when death came into the world, our character creation, Hermit, forgive my chicken scrawls, and the Hierophant and observant, but elitist. I hope I'm. This is. So this is our character. We can call our character Harry the Hermit. Now, this is a micro RPG, so that's about it as far as character creation and character development. Mythology. This game, by the way, is by Sasha, Sienna, and Jonathan Sims, found again in the Ultimate Micro RPG book, edited by James D'Amato. So, okay, we have our character. It should be a title that describes their place in the world. Okay? The Hermit and the Hierophant. The world's religious mendicant beggar. The world's great religious beggar. There we go. Establishing the impetus. Decide what makes your character unhappy enough with the current situation that they'll face danger to change it. In your myth, everything's wonderful until an inciting incident happens and death comes into the world. So the Hermit Hierophant, the great mystic beggar who's observant but is away from everyone, who's elitist, he is the one that has to respond to the situation, and they'll face danger to change it. Okay, one player draws from the remaining major arcana. Well, I'm the only player here. Using the card's art and tags as well as the myth's title, they set up the inciting event. Going clockwise, not going to happen here, each player adds one additional detail. In games of one or two players, players add two details. So, okay, we need to draw a card. The world card. I guess reversals don't mean anything here. So the world card. The world card is beauty, and what it means in tarot is the final step in any situation. But we set up the inciting event and two details. So one player draws from the remaining major arcana, using the card's art and tags as well as the myth's title. When death came into the world, they set up the inciting event. And we need to add a couple of details. So the world card, the world card is the 21st card, connected and intense. So connected and intense are our two prompts. And we need to add two additional details. Connected and intense. So the holy mendicant, the holy beggar, the holy beggar felt a disturbance in the force. And all of a sudden he felt connected to, this hermit felt a disturbance in the force, and all of a sudden he felt connected to the God power. But there was something wrong. It was very intense. It was very much shook him. The trees began to shake. The earth darkened down. There are details. Go back to the original rules. And there's a bit more. So we've added the two details. It was an intense, dark day where the wind was howling and the earth was shaking beneath his feet. And the old holy hermit, the holy beggar, felt connected suddenly to the great magic that was about to happen, because he lived in a world where nothing ever died. Nothing ever died. It was all perfection, but he knew that this wasn't going to last. And he knew that his own flesh was deteriorating rapidly. Okay, the next player, it says, clockwise draws a card from the minor arcana, 56 suit cards of the tarot deck, and uses the image to describe a trial the group faces. Okay, let's go ahead with that. Here we have our minor arcana cards. Let's go ahead and shuffle. Cut them again, and then we draw. Well, we draw the Six of Wands. In the actual tarot reading, that would be victory. Badly dignified or upside down, that is defeat in a situation. The opposite of victory, obviously. Trial of creativity. The player to the left's character, it says here, is the one who must answer the trial. Other characters may assist narratively, but they do not affect gameplay. There are no other players except for me. If any imagery on the drawn card matches imagery on their character cards, they can answer the trial using the strengths and resources they already have. Well, all the cards are very blue. If they draw an ace, their character has found a new opportunity. They've discovered hidden strengths or talents or a new resource to answer the trial. If it's a 10, and 10s are not good in the tarot, any way you slice it, usually the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is good. 10 of Pentacles is good. 10 of Swords, no. 10 of Swords is defeat. 10 of Staffs is oppression. If the card is a 10, their character is wholly unable to answer the trial. They're defeated, overwhelmed, or blind to the need to act. Otherwise, the tone of the card's image determines how well or poorly they meet the trial. So that player must describe their character's response and the consequences of their attempt to meet the trial before drawing a new card and describing a trial factor for describing a trial for the next player. Court cards, pages, knights, queens, or kings represent characters you meet along your journey. Pages and queens are friendly, while knights are kings, and kings are hostile, though they might appear friendly at first. The sword court gives information, whether true or false. So if I pull after this, because I know it's a trial of creativity now, but then if I pull a sword for the next pull, a wand is actions in favor or against you. The cup court works on your emotions, bolstering your courage or draining your will. The pentacle court gives or takes a vital object that will help or hinder you in your quest. But what is my quest? Intense magic is happening and death is about to come into the world. So the trial facing is a creative one. It's how to stave off death for the years of a man's life, which were eternal before. So this is where our holy monk, our mendicant, our holy beggar, who is observant but elitist and away and aloof from everyone, this is what he is struggling to do. He wants to maintain life for man for a number of years, beyond this death, this image of death that's coming into the world that he knows is going to be the end of things. Ending the game. Drawn 3 aces or 3 tens, start drawing the story to a close. When play reaches the first player, all the trials have been answered. When play reaches the first player, all the trials have been answered. Your heroes have returned home, changed by their journey. Draw one final major arcana card and use it as an inspiration to tell an epilogue. Okay, so we have the trial of creativity. And what is he trying to create? He's trying to create a magic spell or ritual that will keep man alive beyond the death that awaits him, that's coming down from above. So, I believe it said, oh, yeah, that is the minor cards again. So we just keep drawing the minor cards to tell the story. We're already on 15 minutes, and the internet here is so bad that it takes forever for anything to upload. So let's go ahead and we can continue this in part 2, but let's go ahead and shuffle. And then we'll go ahead and pull Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is what we pull. I have to remind myself that the reversals, again, this is not a tarot reading. I do that every day for clients. But this is... reversals don't mean anything here. Okay, but to pull... we pulled the Knight of Pentacles. So, Pentacle Court gives or takes a vital object that will help or hinder you on your quest. So, my feeling is that he's trying to, our character, the Holy Hermit, the Holy Monk, Harry the Hermit, is trying to rescue man from the death that awaits him, from the coming of death into the world. So how is he going to do that? He's going to make an image, a graven image of death, and then he's going to put it in a place where he feels he can contain it. But before he does that, something happens, and his containment of death is somehow not complete. So what we would do for the next, we would go ahead and journal all of this and talk about how Harry is faced with creative task. He goes to make image of death, and maybe he tries to contain it in a bottle. In a bottle. But what goes wrong? And indeed, we'll have to find that out in part 2. And we're at 18 minutes. This is going to take 2 days to upload. So, that's all for this morning. Bye-bye.